In this video, we're going to look at how we're going to use Bedboard to identify compatibility for a new resident in our facility. Right now, you see I'm logged into a sample facility, and you can kind of already tell what's going on in terms of my occupancy. You could see that all my units, a lot of them, have already been occupied or reserved or pending new patients. And now I have a female to admit. And I see I have an empty room over here. O3B is an empty room. It's marked female because the co-occupant is a female. O3 bed A is occupied by Sherry, and O3 bed B is occupied by nobody, hopefully my new resident. So how do I use Bedboard now to further identify? It's good that I could see it, but it's not enough. Like, this doesn't give me enough information about admitting a new patient next to Sherry. I want to see what's going on with Sherry. So if I click on Sherry, I will instantly be displayed data that is relevant for me to make a decision. Like, for example, does Sherry have dementia? Does Sherry have an infectious disease or any sort? Does anything indicated on her chart that may say that, hey, you should not put somebody in a room with Sherry because she's has outbursts, possibly violent, maybe has some form of a disease or infection or something of that nature. Now, just by looking at this doesn't just give me enough. I can actually go ahead and click on the actual conditions as specified by the physician. And I could take a look and see what is going on with Sherry. And if I was to place someone in a room with her, whether that would be a good idea or not. Just like we can tag whether the bathroom assignment is a private or joint bathroom, we're able to right away kind of tell whether we should be placing a resident here or not. And if we are going to place a resident here, well, it's quite easy. We just right-click it and we choose Create Patient. And that will bring about the Create Patient window where we can move forward to create our patient. But this is not the point of the video, is to show you how to create patients, but it's how to identify whether a person should be put in a room. Now, notice when I clicked on Sherry, I could not just see her basic profile info. I also have her payer coverage information and her contacts that are on file. So if I need to call a contact to let them know that I'm going to possibly admit someone into Sherry's room, I could do that right off the bat without having to ever click out of here. I can actually do this to manage my placement, make the call to the family, and I could even look at Sherry's ADT history, which is key. Kind of tells me how often Sherry comes in and out of her room, or the building rather, and it gives me a lot of ideas and more actionable data to make a good decision. In addition to this, I also know, because I can tag rooms, certain things. Maybe this bed should never be occupied at all. So maybe I don't want to ever put anyone in with Sherry. So in that case, for whatever reason, I could just right-click on her bed card, change it to red. And what red means to me is that I shouldn't be putting anyone in with Sherry. And it's very useful to have these tags, right? Helps us identify a number of things, and we have multiple colors: red, purple, teal, and orange, whatever they may mean for your facility. In addition to marking the bed reserved, well, you can't mark this bed reserved because it's already occupied, but you could reserve the bed right next to it. But the tagging is also key for placement identification, along with unit saturation and along with the conditions of the co-inhabitant, or the co-occupant rather, to make sure that everyone is happy. And I've done most of this without ever leaving the screen at all, meaning identify. I could actually zero in on a specific unit if I want to, and I could see if I close this, my least saturated unit happens to be the one ending in 1DD, and if I go ahead and click on the filter, I can identify right away numbers of beds in 1DD. And I see here I have a few pending ones, meaning a patient has been created, but census line has not yet been added. And I also have a reservation, but I have several empty rooms. So this is very, very useful for placement. And this is just an idea of how it was designed to be used. The truth is, there's no right or wrong way. There is your way of using Bedboard to accomplish what you need to accomplish. Thank you for watching.